Hi guys, I'm Angie, and this is.
Harold Jones, John L. Scott.
How you guys doing? All right, so for today, it's kind of on the informational side. We had a scenario kind of come up, and I wanted to kind of pick Harold's brain, and what's the best way to handle that, or I mean, there's probably different ways. But one is when you have a buyer who maybe wants the seller or wants to the the how-tos of the home. How do you turn on your water? What, tips of how certain things work inside the home. What should or what's the best way to handle that as a seller and or buyer? Question mark?
As a seller or a buyer.
But more on the seller side, if you're getting asked.
Well, first of all, we've had this discussion before about, in one of our previous videos, about buyers and sellers coming together. You never know what the personal reaction is. Okay, so what we are talking about now is specifically with our area, there's irrigation that's supplied when the ditches are full. And the question from the buyer was, okay, what are the ins and outs? What do I need to know? How do I do this? Because I'm new to this and I've never done it before. So what was asked of me was, when can they get together? And my initial reaction, and I'll just be full disclosure here. My initial reaction was, all of the hair on the top of my hair just turned gray. It's kind of, I understand it. I totally agree with it. But how do you get two separate individuals from possibly crossing a line that they don't think is any kind of an issue?
Correct.
So the other part of that was, and basically what I did is I called the seller, asked them if they would be all right with this, and kind of explained it to them in a way that I can show up and kind of hang out on the sidelines, and if something is brought up that's inappropriate for the time, then I kind of say, I act as a referee. That's not something we need to discuss at this time. I was assured by the seller that wasn't necessary and they could handle it, and so I'm just, okay, here we go. Usually something like this might happen a day or so after closing, but since we are running into holidays and that time of year, we're just going to let the buyer and seller get together, discuss the ins and outs of the property, and everything will be fine. The other thing is that hopefully the buyer's agent also understands this situation and maybe brought it up to his client about, okay, you can ask certain questions, but don't dive too deep into other aspects. It might just ruffle feathers, and you never know.
I was gonna say that's like the territory of, what is it, gray waters, that it's, I mean, if it was me, I would say wait till after closing, so
Right.
nothing can happen, because I just me, I would think that a lot of things can happen even if you have a day before closing or 2 days before closing, where maybe the seller or the buyer maybe comes across or sees something that maybe didn't pay attention to, in the first couple of times going through the home, that maybe is like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know that was like that, so, and that I know of, buyers can get out the day of, So I would, if I was a seller, I'd be a little anxious or nervous of letting, having that happen. But I mean,
As a general rule, and there's not an issue with it, and we don't have to play referee very often. And basically, it's back to what we've discussed a lot of times here. Communication. As long as we all understand, we're all on the same page. Usually, it's not an issue. But sometimes, and I've seen it happen, sometimes the personalities
yeah,
just don't go well,
yeah,
and they can go off fairly quick, and so it's just something to be cautious about. Take your time, just do what is asked, and then move along. And it's not a time to get chummy.
Yeah.
How about I say it that way?
Not at least before, after maybe, because I know, like I said, when we
After, fine, be
best
pals,
friends.
discuss everything in the world, but we're trying to get to the ultimate goal here.
Mm.
So we're trying to keep everything neutral and on an even keel.
Yeah.
There's my answer for that one.
All right. Any other topics you'd like to discuss?
Oh, I was going to do Freestyle Friday for a change.
Okay. Well,
No, too late. So how's your transaction going?
good. We got a few weeks of closing. They actually want to close a little earlier. We just, we haven't seen the papers.
How
A week.
and what did you think of that when that happened?
At first, I was nervous.
Why?
In
Why?
the department, I didn't know if we would be ready, as far as making sure we had to get everything out of the house. Not the closing part. The closing part, I was like, yeah, let's get her done. The sooner the better. But at first, I was like, oh my, because I'm a planner, so I was like, oh, this is throwing off my plan, my schedule, moving it up a bit. But I think we got a good grasp on getting everything cleared out. So I mean, as long as we got the paper in hand to show that we're closing early, we have yet to see that, but we're moving onward like if we were.
And I think the last time we spoke about your journey is what you called it.
My journey.
We were looking forward to the appraisal.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I mean, it's moving forward, so that's yeah. What is it? Clean bill of health.
So I guess
So
you're
good.
saying the appraisal went well,
It
and
did. It did.
now we're on track to finally getting closed and closed early.
Yes. Right after Christmas.
And what is the thing that nothing goes on during the holidays. Nothing happens in the market. Nothing happens in real estate during the holidays or during the winter time.
Yeah.
We're always looking forward to May to start
Spring.
things off, and
here we are. So they do happen. They do happen.
so anything else exciting besides that?
No, just gearing up for the Christmas holidays. That was the other issue. Is like, I'm sure they would have done it sooner, wanted to close sooner. But with Christmas, I mean, you had to do the holiday thing. So
Yeah, it puts things off a few days,
Yeah.
but it's still a little earlier. So
but they get to ring in the new year,
hey, there you go.
in the new home.
Always look at the positive
Yeah.
side. Anything else exciting in the real estate journeys of the world?
Not in my journey. How about in yours?
Nothing. Everything else is moving along. Everybody's stressed out to the max about the holidays. I'm just kicking back and letting it happen. But we'll get everybody get through it. We'll get into the new year.
And there's still open houses. Like I'll put ours here. We have one in Malaga on Saturday.
Yes.
I'll put it right here. So there is still, I remember that's one of the things I've asked is, do people still do open houses around the season? And I The answer is yes. Maybe not as many, but the answer is yes. There's still
Yes,
open
the
houses.
answer is yes. In this particular property, I went out and walked through the whole thing myself, and it's a very nice setup. You have pretty much everything you're looking for. Shop, extra areas to live, large storage, everything's on one level, and you're out in the quiet of the countryside. I mean, there you go.
So how far is it from
fi-
town?
About 5 miles.
Oh, see, so it's like you get the comforts of being out in the country, but the benefits of being able to come in town if you need milk.
Well, buy your milk before you go.
Well, you never know. Sometimes you're at home and all of a sudden someone comes like, oh man, I needed milk or I needed something. You gotta run to the store at least,
You're not that far. About 10 minutes. 10 minutes is about it.
Yeah.
So.
And then the other thing that came up is Larry's Chicken.
Yes, we have.
He needs to buy
That's also going on. We have what was it? Historical.
Iconic restaurant.
Iconic. Yes, that was the word used.
Iconic.
And that's a business property. Building, everything is included, and that's pretty cool. So
and now you don't need an open house; you just go check it out. Get
go get something to eat and,
Yeah.
and look it over at the same time. Yeah, that's a good idea. So Angie can put that information up also in case you're looking for a new investment, maybe trying something a little different.
Other than that, then.
I think that's pretty much it. Everybody be safe, everybody have fun, and like I say, I'm just kicked back and enjoying it, so everybody do the same.
All right, you guys. Talk to you later. I'll put his contact information down below. That's it. Toodaloos. Bye-bye.
Toodaloo. Bye.